Hi Nitin, hi. Hi. Hi, good afternoon. I think it's good afternoon, yeah. Hi Ken. Hi, I think I can see everybody here. Ken. Yes, Praveen Krishnan. Yes, Sinit Matthew. So, it is an unexpected Sunday recoil. Actually, today we would have been in Hycon Heto showroom for the reviews, but couldn't make it today. So, I am inside my car and I'm waiting for our very special guest, a champion driver, Mr. Arjun Balu. Hi. Hi. So hope everybody are in home, staying safe. And we don't have, I think I heard that we don't have any issue with the oxygen cylinders. We are all equipped and hope God save us. And we are in a very critical situation out here in the entire world. So already if you have to be very careful going out, and that's the situation over here. Then I'll just announce the last time winners. Actually, I just forgot to say that last time. The winners for the last time event was Fuelli. The first prize was won by Off-Roader. The Ozone Car Wash was won by Flying Dutchman. Jackson Creation stickers were won by Anil Maneth. Different Saloon Free Haircut was won by Azhar Badar. Village Diary Ice Cream by Munir Arakil. Metal Cat Custom Garage prize won by Ajit. And Spexter 500 rupees voucher won by Regine 5346. Gallant Play Arena free go-kart ride won by Prasoon Poli. And Super Tire Tech 25% on purchase of the Michelin automotive accessories won by Pranav Prakash Valakumpara. And Hycon Industries Solar Lantern won by Winky Frankie. And Apollo Tires scale model won by Sibin 3111. And the 69th was again won by Off-Roader. So that was the gift for last time. And we are expecting our guest now. I have the intro of the new guest, and before that I'll just read out the sponsors. Fuelli is our first sponsor, the main sponsor. Ozone Detailing, Jackson Creations, Different Saloon, Village Diary Ice Creams, Metal Cat Customs, 69th, Puma, Spexter, Garant Play Arena, Hycon Industries, Apollo Tires. So they are the sponsors for the event, and the promo support given by Water Ads. They are giving us the support for the ads, and clothing support given by English Colors, of course, with the caps and t-shirts. So that's all about them. And the intro of the guest today, 9-time national racing champion. From 1992 he started his career and is going on, and he is an INRC champion driver, an APRC driver, a 2020 Indian touring car champion, an automobile enthusiast. We welcome Arjun Balu to our show. So we are expecting him soon. So we are waiting for him, I think. We are waiting for him. Actually, I think he has not been inside my room. I think his brother is there, Sanju. Sanju Balu, if you can just. You're waiting for him. So Arjun, I think I met him in 2008. Arjun Balu. He's a real aggressive driver. Don't speak much, especially when he drives, and he's so focused. So he's also a perfectionist, and he's from Coimbatore. I think yes. 1 second. I think the net is very slow. Well, courtesy driver, and he is a class apart. I think in his era we have. Hi, Arjun. Hi.
Hi
Welcome to
Davis,
Davies
how are
Chirammel
you?
Automotive Show. Hi. Fine,
Thank you.
fine. Hope you are all safe and staying home.
Yes, all doing well, staying safe. I hope the same with you and everyone who's on the show.
Correct. I think everybody are safe, I believe. And I think people now understand what COVID is and what is the worst situation uh, which we are going through, and hope we will be safe all. Can we start the show?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, how it all started, the passion towards automobiles, and who made the spark?
Well, having been born and brought up in the city of Coimbatore, as everybody knows, it's well known for not only its industries but also its passion for cars and motorsport. So growing up, there was cars and motorsport all around me. My father was a big car enthusiast, even though he didn't go racing.
Wow.
A lot of his friends and relatives were racing drivers, and there was always some car at home which was enthusiastically done up, which was his car, which was always tuned and modified. And yeah, my brother and I grew up in that environment, so racing and cars were a big part of our life growing up. And motor racing was never an if, it was always a when. I would do it. So, as I said, being a part of the Coimbatore landscape, this was only normal.
Okay. And from passion towards automobiles, you turned your career towards racing first, then rallying, then saloon car championship, then again into Indian touring car championship. How it get evolved in you as an all-rounder?
Well, I've always wanted to be a racing driver. Like I said, a lot of relatives of the family and friends were racing drivers. My brother started racing before me, and it was all thanks to Mr. Karivardhan that I got my first drive, driving for his team in 1992 in a Formula Maruti, and 1992 was my first race, and that started off everything, and from then on went on to win championships, and then went on to drive for MRF in 1995. Rallying was not something I really planned. It just happened along the way, and that continued for 17 years. Yeah, but along the way were many racing championships, and I'm happy to say that I still continue to race, and I'm thoroughly enjoying it right now with a great team.
Okay. All best motorsports champs of your era, which from all from Coimbatore, Naren Kumar, Naren Karthikeyan, Leela Krishnan, Jay Anand. And any common factor connecting you all? You are all from Coimbatore, I know. So is there anything special, any special factor which triggers motorsports in Coimbatore?
Well, I suppose we were exposed to various kinds of cars and people in the motor racing. Like I said, the founders of motor racing in India, many of them were from the city of Coimbatore, and a variety of cars, very fast cars, and also there was nothing much else to do those days in Coimbatore. So the only diversion we had after school or college was to go and play a sport and tinker around with cars, and there were a lot of good places around Coimbatore to drive a car fast, whether it was Premier Padmini or anything going beyond that. So, and like I said, the passion for cars and speed was inbuilt in a lot of us, and I think that was actually the norm. So for us living in Coimbatore, although other people think it's very strange, for us being from Coimbatore, this is only the norm, to be interested in cars and to be interested in the sport and do well in the sport.
Okay. You also competed in APRC championship. Can you just share the experience of APRC championship compared to INRC?
Well, we started my international stint in rallying started with the Asia Zone Championship, where we saw a lot of success. Basically, because the cars were a slight evolution of what we drove in India. So we were very successful there. So MRF decided to go Asia Pacific the next year, but then as a team we were hardly prepared for it, with no testing, not the right tires, and basically got thrown in the deep end because it was also a learning curve for MRF. The APRC experience in terms of performance was not, is not something to remember, but the whole experience of driving in a championship like that with all those drivers around you and all different kinds of cars, and particularly the longer format of rallying with those stages was really enjoyable. It was very short. I just did 2 rallies, but memorable for the kind of cars that we drove, which was the Evo 7 at that time. Unfortunately, it wasn't long enough for us to show what we were capable of.
Okay. Since you have been into both formats of motorsports, especially racing and rallying, which format you like the most and why?
I've always loved racing way more than rallying. Like I said, my plan was always, and my dream was to be a racing driver. I knew I will be a racing driver at some point of time. I tried my hand at rallying I think in '94, just to see what it felt like. I did that for a couple of rallies, and I was happy not to do any more rallies after that. But then after I won my first single-seater championship, MRF wanted me to drive for them in their racing team. And in those days, there was only one race in a year, which was in February. So after that, they thought that it will be good for me to, keep myself occupied doing something. So that's how the rallying started in a gypsy, which I thoroughly hated, to be honest. So I drove that for a year and a half, and then racing tapered off in '99. MRF being a sponsor, they didn't go racing after '99. So I just continued rallying till 2011. So it was 17 long years of rallying. But I've always loved racing. I waited to get back into racing, which I did. For me, racing is very pure. For me, it's all up to the individual. And once the lights go off until the checkered flag, it's up to you. And there's not so much. I feel that luck plays a lesser part in racing, and there's not too much that goes behind the scene that can control the outcome of, can control the result. And also racing wheel to wheel with others is a big thrill, and I've always been interested in the technical side of the sport. So to develop a car, to make it go faster, to find tenths within the car, and to work with an engineering setup closely, which is possible in racing, particularly the kind of racing today, I thoroughly enjoy it, and I've always enjoyed racing for that reason.
Okay. And your thoughts on Indian motorsports? Do we lack good men and machines compared internationally?
The short answer to that is no. I think we have supremely talented teams and engineers who are capable of as much or more. You can see the kind of tuner cars and racing series that are there in India. The opportunities today are far greater than what we had when we were growing up. So if you're talking from the engineering side, in terms of people to prepare cars, and especially the younger crop of teams which are coming up now, one of them I'm very fortunate to be a part of. The immensely talented, immensely passionate, and supremely driven to achieve, and we're going to see a lot of great things from them. So no, I don't think we're lacking on that front at all.
Okay, very good. And what are your thoughts on current motorsports drivers in India? Do you have any favorites?
I don't know anyone personally, but all I can say is that there are a lot of drivers in both forms of the sport going international, which was a rarity maybe a decade or decade and a half ago. There are many drivers in various series around the world doing very well. So I suppose the motorsport, Indian motorsport, is being represented very well internationally with a young crowd. And I think now it's not just about talent, but it's also about how you manage your career and how you market yourself and all the rest that goes along with it in terms of finance and all that, which is a big part of motor racing today. When I was growing up, it was only about getting out there and getting into any car that you could get your hands on and driving as fast as you can. I think even when you look at rallying these days, the entries are so big, and any one of many drivers can win rallies. So
Okay.
so I think apart from, you have exceptions, of course, at the top of the table, drivers who go international. But then I think by and large there are a lot of drivers who are very talented, and I think the sport is in good hands going forward.
Okay. The most unforgettable moment in your career, which transformed your career?
I suppose transformation. There are many unforgettable moments, but as I think my first championship is probably a reason for launching, if you could call it a career. '94, I won my first championship in a Formula Maruti, and that got the as a privateer, and that opened the doors to MRF asking me to drive for them, and everything followed after that.
Okay.
So I suppose as far as a career is concerned, that was the single event that changed it. But there have been many instances of races and championships which have been very, very special, and an extremely special one was last year, driving my Indian touring car, and it was a great championship. It was something we worked very hard for, and with a great bunch of guys. So yeah, that's a very, very special moment as well. Going international and having an international rally win is also something that I cherish a lot.
Okay. Your advice to all motorsports enthusiasts and young motorsports drivers in the country?
Well, what I would tell them is, today there is a lot of opportunity to go about the sport in the right way. There are when I was growing up, you had to find your way, go out there, drive whatever you could. Nobody really to help you out. Today it is very structured, from go-karting to any formula class that you want to drive. There is saloon cars, single-seater cars, go-karting. It's very structured, and there is an opportunity to everybody. And what I would recommend to everybody is, first of all, go follow your passion. Learn it the right way by going to a driving school, racing school. There are a lot of schools out there for various disciplines. Learn the right ways to do the sport, learn the right etiquette in the sport. Learn as much as you can about the engineering side of things as well, and take it step by step. And the learning never stops. I keep telling the guys in my team and all of us, we still say that the learning process never stops. We are still learning. So you learn from the right people, and have fun doing what you do, and keep at it. And I'm sure it will be, you're not only going to enjoy it for yourself, but you're also going to give a lot of value to others.
Okay. And the last question from the descriptive side, where do we find Arjun Balu after 10 years from now?
10 years from now, well, cars and motorsport has always been a passion of mine, and my brother and I, like I said, we've always had this passion, so I don't think that will change. For now, I just hope we come out of this horrible pandemic safe and healthy and stronger to enjoy whatever it is that we want to do for the next 10 years. But I suppose I'll be still involved in the motor racing scenario somehow. I don't know if I will still as a racing driver. I don't know. Maybe, who knows? But I'm sure with the very young team that I'm involved with right now, I'm sure we have a lot of things we want to do, and I look forward to having a small part to play in the path that they are on. It's something that we look forward to, and maybe we'll have a chat in 10 years' time.
Okay, great. And with that, we conclude the descriptive round. Now we are going for the race with the ITC champion. Are you ready? Buckle your seatbelts. Okay, it's a rapid fire round. So here is your first question. INRC, ITC or APRC? Which one you like the most?
ITC.
ITC, okay. The Fiat, the legendary Indian cars. Fiat, Ambassadors, Maruti 800, Herald.
Fiat.
Okay. Gypsy, Estim, Baleno, Cedia, Ford Fiesta. Rally cars.
Or
Which one you like the most?
the Cedia.
Cedia. Okay. Any particular reason?
It's the fastest rally car that I drove in N plus trim. It was really enjoyable to drive, and they were really potent in excess of 200 horsepower. Front wheel drive was great fun.
Okay. So Mitsubishi Evo 8, Subaru Impreza WRX, or Fiat 131 Abarth.
Oh, Fiat 131 Abarth any day.
Okay. Carlos Sainz, Juhu Kankunen, Walker Rohol, Colin McRae, Sebastian Loeb, Tommy Mäkinen.
Tough one, but I'll have to say Walter Roll just because of the kind of cars that he's driven, the era that he's driven, and also he's a Porsche development driver and a brand ambassador, and I'm a big fan of the brand. So.
Okay, great. Gaurav Gill, Yunus Elias, Karna Katur.
Not a fair comparison, but
Yeah.
I think Gaurav is undoubtedly the best rally driver that India has ever produced. Yunus, I have a lot of experience with him, and I know a lot about him. He's phenomenally talented, and I think he's got a great future ahead of him. I can't say much about Karna. His results speak for himself, and he also works for an engineering setup, and he plays a dual role. So I think all three of them deserve respect in their own right.
Great. Leela Krishnan, Vikram Matthias, Kamlesh Patel, Harish Samtani, Vicky Chanda.
All of them for very different reasons. They are from a different generation, slightly before me, and I think they all had a very big part to play in making Indian motorsport what it is today, and they all deserve due respect for their contributions to the sport, which they continue. A lot of them continue even today.
Okay. And MMRT, Curry Speedway, BIC. Which track you like the most?
MMRT.
MMRT. Any particular reason?
I think for the kind of cars that we drive, it's perfectly suited balance with speed and high-speed corners, which I think, and also the facility what it has become today. It's brilliant, and every time you go there, you are able to maximize, and you're on the edge, and you got the seat of the pants feeling every time you drive a car around MMRT. BIC is great. It's just that you need a supremely fast car to feel on the edge at BIC.
Okay. Chicanes, jumps, hairpins, straight lines.
Chicanes, I suppose.
Okay. Monaco, San Marino, Silverstone. Which track you like the most?
I love watching, of all the three that you mentioned, I love watching races at Silverstone.
Okay. And your favorite car, driver, team?
Any road car, racing car?
Any car, any favorite cars of yours, favorite driver and team?
My favorite brand of a car is a Porsche, being a 911, any one of them from 50 years. I love the brand. Driver, I don't know. I have a lot of admiration for a variety of drivers over various generations. A lot of them in the ground effects era of Formula One, going on to people like Gilles Villeneuve, and then going on to Ayrton Senna, and then the current crop of drivers. We can't relate to the current cars which are heavily loaded with electronics. That's why we kind of know how it feels to drive a car which is completely mechanical. And rallying drivers, you have to admire all the drivers from the Group B era. And I think one that is a particular favorite of mine was Ari Vatanen.
Okay, great. And a piece of advice to young drivers in the country. A piece of advice.
Young drivers in the country, I would first tell them, please don't drive fast on public roads. We have enough opportunity today to go to various racetracks. There are people organizing various track meets. You have access to not only people who can have access to various supercars, but then you also have a lot of engineering setups out there who can make fast cars out of your road cars. Take your passion forward, enjoy it on the circuit, and learn it the right way, and keep the passion for cars and motorsport growing. It's definitely a healthy way of life.
Great. And winning or losing, which makes you more focused?
Both, I suppose. When you're winning, it's very difficult. You put a lot of pressure on yourself and the people around you to stay on top. And what makes you win and is whatever you learn from your losses. And when you get a result, you need to know why you got that result. If you won, you should know why you won, and if you lost, then you should sit down and analyze why you lost as well. But the most important thing is to go about the sport, be it any sport, in the right spirit of the sport. Enjoy the wins, but then, as we like to say, you're only as good as your last result. Never, fall back on your laurels. Keep pushing forward. Keep pushing the limits. And if there is less than an ideal result, don't try and find excuses for it. Learn from it, make yourself stronger out of it, and keep enjoying it and have fun. As long as you're having fun, the result will come.
Correct. That's a very good advice. And your thoughts on Davies Chirammel Automotive show that. It's the last question from the rapid fire.
Davies, I've been watching a few of your shows right from lockdown last year, and you brought an insight to a lot of people, an opportunity that they don't have. A lot of us don't get to meet a lot of folks on the other side, and this way for the youngsters who are coming up today, it gives a great opportunity and a platform for them to know about the other people, and not only that, they can even take it one step forward and connect with these people if they choose to do so, whether on a personal level or on a professional level. So it's a great thing that you're doing, and I thank you for having me on as well today.
Thank you very much for the valuable information and advice, and thank you. And with that, we conclude the rapid fire, and we are coming to the viewers' question. Viewers, you can ask any questions regarding motorsports or racing or ITC or anything to Mr. Arjun Balu. He is ready to answer your questions. So we are waiting for your questions, guys. Viewers, you can ask any questions to Arjun Balu. He is ready to answer your questions. Which is the best car to start a racing career? Flying Dutchman.
Well, the short answer to that is depending on your age. If you're very young, I think the best place to start racing is go-karting. Or if you want to get into something a little bit more exciting, then we always have saloon car racing in India, which is very well evolved in various levels. You have series like the Indian, the super stock category, where Race Concepts runs a big team of cars. You have the VW Polo Cup, which is a very professional single make series that you can choose from. You have, if you are very young, like I said, you have various karting championships to choose from. So I would say if you want to be a single-seater driver, karting is where you start. If you want to race saloon cars, then you should look at either the Super Stock or the VW Cup.
Okay, for Ajay Moto saying, for rallies, which car you prefer for rallying when you're starting your rally career?
Right now, I don't know much, but from what I can see, the Polo seems to be the mainstay of rallying in India and seems to be the go-to car. So I suppose it's the most accessible for anybody today to go rallying. But the new regulation, you should get in touch with one of the teams who are out there to figure out what are the options. That's the best way.
Okay, and Murthy Rallying asking your first win outside India in rallying.
My first and only win outside India was in the Asia Zone Rally Championship in China.
Wow, great. And Mohammed Shajin asking, which is your best tuner in India, especially in rallying?
Well, I worked with both the tuners in India when I was driving for the same team. I've had success with both. So we'll just leave it at that.
Okay. And any more questions, guys? So we are waiting for your questions. We have 2-3 minutes left. Esteem City or Gypsy, which one you like the most?
Esteem City or just City? Yeah, for sure.
City. Okay. Which cycle you are using, Arjun? What cycle are you
Yeah.
using, Satish?
I ride a Scott carbon road bike.
Oh, great. Why Abrat all day, sir? I think somebody asking why Abrat?
I'm just fan of 80s rally cars, and these were iconic cars at that point of time, along with the Ford Escort. So it's just one of the cars that you dream of having one day, which I don't know if that's possible, but then they're fantastic. You should go out and watch a video of how an Abarth rally car used to be.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've seen. Yeah, I've seen it. Okay. And with that, I think we'll conclude the viewers' question. And we are coming to the last round, that is the guest round. Arjun will ask you questions about motorsports. And before that, I'll just read out the sponsors. The first sponsor is Fuelli. They are giving you a tissue box. Awesome. They're giving you a car wash, free car wash. Jackson Creations give you electroform stickers. Different saloons give you a haircut. Village Dairy Ice Cream, pure natural ice cream, giving you a 500 rupees voucher. Metal Cat Customs Garage giving you a 500 rupees voucher. Specs, they give you 500 rupees voucher. Garan Play Arena from Thrissur give you a free go-kart ride. And Super Tire Tech from Bangalore give you a 25% off on purchase of Michelin accessories from Bangalore, or they will send it to you. And Hycon Industries give you a solar lantern, and Apollo Tires give you a scale model called Alpha of their scooter tires. And these are the sponsors for the day. And the question of the day for today: in which year Arjun Balu entered INRC, and in which event? That is the question. Do ping me in my ID. I'll repeat the question. In which year did Arjun Balu entered INRC? In which event? So there are two questions. You have to answer the two things, and you have to ping me in my ID, Davies Chirammel. And okay, you can shoot the first question, Arjun.
Okay. Okay, the first question. Which was the first single make purpose built racing series in India, and who created it?
Can you repeat?
Yeah, which was the first single make purpose built racing series in India, and who created it?
1989. This was actually something else. I think we are waiting. You have to just see the scroll who is giving the first answers, and I'll just note it down.
Yep.
So viewers, I hope you have heard the question.
Okay, let me rephrase.
We are
What was
waiting
the
for you.
first single-seater series, purpose-built single-seater series created in India? Yeah, yeah. Arjun 00991
Okay,
Sarivardhan. Yeah.
okay, Arjun.
Yeah, and the car was the Formula Maruti. Yes.
Okay, from Lamardi. Okay, correct. So Arjun 0000991. Okay.
Yeah.
So he is the winner for the Fuelli gift, the tissue box. And the second question of the day, sponsored by Awesome Car Wash.
Yeah, the easy one. Which is the first purpose-built motor racing circuit in India?
Can you repeat?
Which is the first purpose-built motor racing circuit or track in India? Yeah. Sachin.
Sachin
Yeah.
Komotil. Yeah. Komotil. Sachin Komotil, you get the prize from Awesome. You get a free car wash. And the third question, sponsored by Jackson Creation stickers.
What is the top speed of the fastest Indian touring car at MMRT?
The fastest.
What is the top speed you
Car
guys
speed.
think is? What is the top speed of the fastest touring car, ITC touring car at the MMRT?
Yeah, we're waiting. Flying Dutchman saying 180. No, it's not, I believe. 240. 190.
Yeah, 190, Ashwin.
Ashwin, you got the price? Ashwin J. So you get the prize from Jackson Creation. And the fourth question, sponsored by Different Saloon, you get a free haircut. Arjun.
Okay, what has been the fastest single make series built in India? The fastest single make series, single seater series. Which series is it?
Fastest single seater series.
Yeah.
You're waiting. VW Pranit, Sachin Kumar.
Yeah.
Sachin Kumar.
It's the Formula 2000 cars. Basically, it's the Formula 2000 cars built by JM Motorsport. Yeah.
Okay, another question, the fifth question of the day, sponsored by Village Dairy Ice Cream. You get a beautiful, what you call, natural flavored ice cream. Not flavored, natural ice cream. Okay, you can.
Okay, this is
this
from the early days of Formula 1. What was the highest horsepower produced by Formula 1 cars with turbo engines in the 1980s? The highest horsepower produced by Formula 1 cars with turbo engines in the 1980s. That's the fastest era of Formula 1.
Oh, that's a very good question. Oh, we're waiting. 640. Mohammed Shajin saying 640 bhp. Joe Katugaran saying 1400 bhp. Sachin Komotil 1200 HP plus. Turbolander saying 840. Ajay Moto 1115.
Yeah, the closest is Aryan Ramanand 1500. They were 1400 horsepower plus. Yeah. So the closest.
Who was given the?
Aryan underscore Ramanand 981.
Arjun.
So he's closest to that.
Okay, he gets the Village Dairy.
1400, so he's very close.
Okay. And the sixth question of the day, sponsored by Metal Cat Custom Garage. They give you a 500 rupees worth checkup voucher. So, your question, Balu. You get the sixth question of the day.
Okay, which Formula 1 driver has the record for the most consecutive pole positions?
Consecutive pole position. Who had the pole, maximum pole?
Who has the record for the most consecutive pole positions?
It's not just pole, consecutive.
Yeah.
Flying Dutchman saying Hamilton. Joe Katugaran saying Hamilton. Arjun, Hamilton, Aryan, Ramanand. Hamilton. Oh, there is no other option than Hamilton, I believe. Lewis, Satish. Schumacher. Mohammed Shajin saying Schumacher. No. And we are waiting. Vettel. Sachin Komotil saying Vettel. Ayrton Senna.
Hi, sir. K. Mavani. Ayrton Senna is the answer.
Ayrton Senna, 1 sec. Okay. Well, can you just say the
K-A-I-S-E-R-K-M-A-V-A-N-Y. K-A-I-S-E-R-K
K-I-S-E-R.
M
Yeah,
M
can
A B.
you repeat that? Kaiser? Hello?
Yeah, Davies. You got that?
Okay, can you just, Kaiser, right? Kaiser. Because
Correct.
I am not
Yes.
seeing that in my scroll.
Yeah, it's
Kaiser.
okay. I'll just read
Kaiser,
out the
okay.
entire name. Kaiserkmabany.
Okay, okay, I got it. And
Yeah.
Sir Kemani, it's me. Yeah, I think he has repeated. I think it's clear. Okay, now the seventh question, sponsored by Spectre Opticals. The seventh question of the day, you can shoot.
Uh, which F1 team holds the record for most wins in a season? Team.
Which team holds the maximum wins in a season in Formula One? That's a question. Ferrari, Flying Dutchman saying. Yokohama.
Mercedes.
Yokohama.
Beast underscore Hunter.
Okay, Beast underscore 100. Beast, okay. Okay, the eighth question of the day, sponsored by Garen Play Arena. He gets a free go-kart ride. A very good gift coming up. Okay, we can ask the question. The eighth question.
Okay, this is a rallying question. What was the highest horsepower produced by a Group B rally car from the 80s? And which car was it?
Highest.
Most powerful rally car in the Group B era in the 80s, and which car was it?
Correct, correct. That's a question. It was Flying Dutchman saying 240, and which car was it? That's a question. In Group B, I think Group B was fantastic at that
I
time.
take either answer, either the horsepower
McLaren.
or the car is fine.
430 Audi Quattro. 350 Quattro Beast Hunter. 260 Manila Touring, no. Ajit 360 Gypsy 750. Sidhu 500. Audi Quattro Mohammed Shajin. Sumesh Audi Quattro
Yeah, Sidhu is
500
close in
HP.
terms of horsepower. He's the first one to mention it. Probably give it to him 500. Um, the answer is actually
who's the guy?
550 with the Delta S4 Lancia. So 500 is, yeah.
Sidhu. Sidhu 2154, right?
Yeah.
Sidhu
Yes.
21, yeah, it's Sidhu 2154, yeah. So Sidhu 2154, you won the Garen Play Arena free go-kart ride, and the ninth question, sponsored by Super Tire Tech, giving you 25% on purchase of Michelin accessories. You can shoot your question.
Who was the fastest and most successful woman in World Rally?
Wow, that's a very good question. Brilliant question. It's a woman driver, the fastest
In World Rally.
in world rallying. That's a question. We are waiting for your question answer. Sorry.
Yeah. Mohammed Sajin. Michel Mouton.
Okay, Mohammed Shajin, Michel Mouton, you're correct. Mohammed Shajin, you get Mohammed Shajin, okay. You get the price, you get 25% off on purchase of Michelin accessories. And the 10th question of the day, sponsored by Hycon Industries, you get a solar lantern free. So, you can ask your question.
Okay,
The 10th one.
again a rally question. Which is considered to be the most successful rally car ever? Rally car. Most wins.
Wow.
Still rally car. World Rally Championship.
Successful rally car of all time.
Yep.
That's a question. In WRC. Flying Dutchman saying Polo.
World Rally.
World rallying, not INRC. Polo saying no. Audi
Yeah,
Quattro.
Lancia Delta. Hari Krishna, 97.
Hari Krishna, you get the very good price. Hari Krishna, it's 97, right? Yeah, he gets a prize from Hycon. And the last question of the day, sponsored by Apollo Tires, he gets a scale model of Alpha Concept. You can ask the question.
Okay, this is something for the supercar and enthusiasts out there. So, what is the name of the recently launched revolutionary supercar designed and built by an ex-F1 designer? What is the name of the car? I mean, there's a big clue in the question. The recently launched supercar designed and built by an ex-Formula 1 designer.
Wow, that's a very good question. Even I don't know the answer. Porsche, Mohammed Shazin saying Porsche. Gordon.
That's it, Gordon Murray T50. Hari Krishna 97.
Hari Krishna 97, right?
Yes.
Okay, and yeah, and with that we conclude the all the questions, all the round. I think we are actually in the conclusion of the show. I hope you guys all really enjoyed the show, and it's very difficult at these format to make the show in every Sunday. And one more thing I forgot to tell you before, it is 1 year now. I started in the last COVID. Even I have not skipped a Sunday after that. So we have already done 250 shows, and I hope I think we have crossed a big milestone, and I hope we can forward it for the next year too. So I need all your motorsports persons, all people to encourage this show. It is your show, it is not my show, and make this show a beautiful show for all automobile enthusiasts. So thank you, Arjun, for coming at these patient times and giving us your valuable advice and tips. Thank you everybody for joining us. And before closing down, I'll repeat the question of the day. In which year did Arjun Balu entered in INRC, and in which event? You have to give me the answer before 1:30 today, and the winner will get the 69th, a memento from 69th, Bangalore. And that's all about. And stay safe, stay home until we meet next Sunday. Thank you.
Thanks, Davies, and thanks to everybody for joining, and wish you all the very best.